discuss all things art-tastic. I have a fairy journal that I made for a young girl whose birthday is this weekend, and she's getting into junk journaling, and I thought everybody should have a fairy journal to start. So I've been making journals for a little while, and I wanted to profile this one. It has about 1 to 1.5 inch spine, and it's sewn on the outside. And we have a little dangling charm here with a key to the kingdom and a fairy bottle of fairy dust. Lots of little dangly bits hanging off of it. This journal cover is made with bark from my actual yard that I brought in and painted and treated, and you can see that it has lots of glitter and rose gold rub on and little glass toadstools, a tiny little bird, and lots of shiny little miniature butterflies. And the cool thing about it is this one, hopefully you'll be able to see, is lighted. It has little tiny purple lights that pop on, so I think she'll get a big kick out of that. I also watched a Artie Mays video on these triple tags, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I had to make some myself. Of course, we have a little boy fairy. The back of the cover is this very soft linen with a tree and some purple flowers running through it. Just beautiful. So let's dig in, shall we? The little girl that I made this journal for looks exactly like this little girl. And so, of course, I had to print that out and put it on here for her. Lots of Tim Holtz journaling cards, so she can express her ideas and her dreams. Over here we have some rustic trim and little bunny, who is also a tuck. This is a little fold. Hopefully you'll be able to see that it has some beautiful rose gold leafing, some dyeing, and another homemade journaling card with some gold mesh. I wanted to keep this very rustic, very rough, so there's a lot of applique. The papers that I used in this journal for the layering are papers from this journal, pages from the journal, I should say. On this side, we have this beautiful little bird. I saw a Janet Hicks video where she had a bird and turned it into a tuck, and I absolutely loved it. I don't know that mine is nearly as pretty as hers, but it was a lot of fun to do. And we have a tiny little fairy envelope with a fairy note inside. Lots of decoupaging. I was going to say that that is a napkin, but you know what? It's the Tim Holtz decoupage paper and some vintage music paper. And here we have a window with a tiny little fairy on the side. I love this paper, and I will try to list it below to let you know what kit that came from. It's a nice thick cardstock. Some flowers, and I'm smashing it, but a little butterfly. He's a little vellum butterfly that floats above. And on this page we have a little mesh bag that I placed a Fairy Finds sticker on, and it's full of little teeny tiny cups and saucers and what looks like could be a fossilized fairy wing. Little fairy charm on top. Some stamping. This is one of the original pages from the book. And a cover with a poem and some dangly bits. We all like dangly bits. I hope you can see the sparkles on this. This is a little fairy child with his apparently big sister. And on the inside it has a card. Of course it's upside down. A card that she can again journal her favorite things, a poem or song lyrics or whatever she finds interesting. She absolutely loves little wildlife, animals, anything to do with nature. So this journaling book is full of little tiny animals and animal spirit items. So we have this bunny, and my daughter and I decided one day to just jump up and make some homemade paper. And that's what this is. That was a super fun project. So if you're looking for something to do on the weekend, make some homemade paper. This is a coloring page with a fabric pocket so that she can put her pens and pencils and anything that she needs for that. This is the Fairy Call poem from Lady Cottingham's pressed fairy book, with some pleated tissue and more little dangly bits. This is a gorgeous nylon that's pressed with some crystals. Just seemed to fit the mood of this journal. Beautiful printout. And the flower fairies. Most of this book has the flower fairies in it. And this was a fun little project from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Sorry. And I'll link below if I can find the original one. She has so many videos. This is a little trifold. It opens, journaling on the back. And no matter how many times you open it or how you open it, they always come out perfectly aligned. Love those. A little journaling card that could also be a bookmark. More bunnies, and I took the liberty of doing some watercolor on this page. Some velvet rose trim, trim. A little button. Another little dangly bit. This little dangly bit works as a stopper for this page here. And this page was a lot of fun. Lots of journaling spaces. And this is a accordion style envelope. And I can do a video on that. I had a lot of fun on it. Again, little animals. Loves kitties. Who doesn't love kitties? Little hummingbirds. More kitties. And the neat thing about this cascading envelope is that I used one sheet of paper 3 times so that I could cut out and keep this pattern very cohesive, so that when it's all closed you can see the same pattern. And another little tuck treasure there. Some lace, another card, and of course this one has a little tiny bird sitting on top of a bunch of teacups. Flower fairy with some watercolors and some lace trim. Beautiful, beautiful mushrooms, and I think this is from the Graphic Fairies just in their free downloads. I don't think you even had to get this from the membership. And I covered it with some gold netting that had sparkly bits in it. some journaling cards. Of course, back to the Queen of the Fairies. And another poem. Little flower fairy here with the windows that open. And a journaling card when you pull her out. And the nice thing is you can see her from the inside and from the out. Here's a miniature journal with some hand-dyed papers and tea-stained papers so that she can write down more fairy poems or whatever it is that she's interested in at that moment in time. This is another mushroom printout, and I just wanted a simple fold. You could easily tuck stuff in there, and it's covering another poem. Lots of vellum butterflies and some journaling spaces. And I tried to choose very soft, fuzzy, soft trims for that sensory experience. This is just layers and layers of different papers and some cardstock, and it is attached to a brown paper bag that runs through the other side. A little secret note. And one of my favorite things is this little kitty cat peeking out of this brown paper bag. Just so precious. Flower Fairy. This is the original page from the book. The first page of the book shows that this book was printed in 1943, and the page is just so pretty. I try to include one of the first few pages of every book when I do cut up a book. Yeah, it really didn't need a whole lot. It has a dangly bit, and it has a little, can't stop myself, butterfly. Lots of journaling space. This is a layered decoupage page and some more watercolors. This was a fun little project. I'm sure by now everybody has done this because it is such a blast. This is by Artie Mays, and she takes her tea bags, and once they're used and dried out and drained, she glues them down onto a hard piece of plastic or rubber and uses, of course, decoupage paste on them. And then when you peel it off of the rubber, you get this beautiful, almost leathery feel to it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you just work in different colors and different rubs. I lined mine with some French writing fabric. So again, very soft. Fun to put little things in there. And some more watercolors. Little flower fairy dancing below. All kinds of soft trim hanging out. And this is a giant tag for putting down your thoughts. This is a sliding tuck from Nick the Booksmith. Goes into great detail on how to make these so that you can make different levels and sizes and tuck in all kinds of fun things. Again, you can journal on the back of that. And also a pocket with some paper. More little fairies. Fun to journal on. And I ink dyed it with some dark pink ink so it stands out. This is the other side of that of the brown paper bag. Little dangly bits. Beautiful poem, beautiful illustration. Not sure where this is from. I've had it for quite a while. Beautiful poem by Adam Latham, and just gorgeous artwork. Very, very soft little trim here. And the little hangings. And on the back we have more flower fairies. And this was a fun mask making by Shabby Dabby Doodot. As soon as I saw her making them, I realized that I too was going to have to sit down and make a whole bunch of them. They're just so fun. And they hold lots and lots and lots of stuff. And back cover. Beautiful antique music paper that my mom donated to my massive amount of paper stash that I have. And that is my fairy book. And I think in the beginning I forgot to show you that the door's open. And there is the Queen of the Fairies. So thank you for joining me. And I hope to be making more videos and actually doing some instructional videos as well. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe down below. And we're going to launch a bunch of videos in addition. Thanks.